While some Chicago Bears fans are still reeling from the fact that Ryan Poles didn't do anything at the trade deadline to improve the team, one of the players that a lot of Bears fans were asking to be traded in Keenan Allen, interesting stats come out to prove that maybe Keenan Allen just isn't being used to the best of his abilities, which shouldn't surprise anybody under Shane Waldron. Talk a little bit about that. Plus, DJ Moore has had enough of Chicago Bears fans saying that he quit on the team. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Plus, him and Caleb Williams both speaking on their lack of connection on the field. Caleb Williams talks about his inaccuracy issues. We're going to talk about all that and more, plus dive in a little bit into the mailbag right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. I'm the host there, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Chi Bears Central on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into this content for today. I want to start off with the stat that came out about Keenan Allen, and this is that so far with Keenan Allen, his average depth of target this season is a career-long 11.2 yards. When you compare that to where he's been overall in his career, he's just being used too far downfield. And it's just an interesting thing to point out so far when you look at what his production was last year versus what has been this year so far. And while Keenan Allen is a depth threat, right? Make no mistake about it. When we talked about acquiring Keenan Allen, we talked about his ability to take the top off the defense. But the Bears are throwing the ball to him deeper on average than any other point in his NFL career. And when you pair with the injuries, when you pair with his age, maybe he should be more used as a yak guy, meaning that you still want to go towards him down the field, but like the fact that it's already 11.2 yards, get him established with some more of the short game there that comes down to it. And so that's something that it looks down. When you look at it last season, in 13 games, Keenan Allen registered 57 first downs. This season, he's had 14 first downs with the projection to be under 30 for the first time in his NFL career. And while, make no mistake about it, I was one of the guys as well who talked about how the Chicago Bears should really consider trading Keenan Allen at the trade deadline because they just haven't really gotten much out of Keenan Allen per what they gave up. They didn't. They ended up holding on to him, which still makes some sense for him if he does leave in free agency. The Chicago Bears will get a third-round compensatory pick. So there's that when it comes down to it as well. But you got to ask yourself, is Keenan Allen being used in the proper area? And it's been a lot of now talk around Ryan Poles and his evaluation of a lot of his recent acquisitions, Keenan Allen being one of them, right? When you look at the Bears getting Rome Odunze, trading for Keenan Allen for a fourth-round pick before that, if they knew they were going to be targeting a wide receiver, maybe that asset would have been best spent on the offensive line. Of course, everything right now is going to be presented in the framework and through the lens of the offensive line. That's just what every Bears fan is naturally going to do. Nobody's wrong for viewing it and looking at it that way. Everybody's going to look at it. This offensive line is in such a place of disarray. Everybody's going to look at everything and say, well, this is another place where we could have got an offensive lineman. This is another place where we could have got an offensive lineman. And so Keenan Allen's going to be here now, right? And I'm somebody that I usually practice the mindset of once it's done, it's done. I'm not a woulda, coulda, shoulda. At some point, you just got to acknowledge where you are and try to be better. And we can use Keenan Allen better on the rest of the way that he's here. Now, overall, the offense needs to be much better. We've talked about it. We're towards the bottom of the league in both passing and rushing, and we're the 28th overall offense in the NFL. We got to be better when it comes down to it. But when you look at how you utilize your weapons, that's as important as having the weapons, right? So if Keenan Allen, if the Bears are looking at this and they, look at this and review it and say, well, maybe we can get him in more mid-range, right? Instead of throwing the ball to him 11.5 yards down the field, let's do 6.5, right? Let's do 4.5, 5.5, and give him an opportunity to make some plays after catching the ball. When it comes down to it, the way I look at it is you got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of your wide receivers. And while Caleb Williams has had some huge accuracy issues, which we're going to talk about in this episode for sure, both in the voicemail and I got a topic on it, but he has his accuracy issues, right? So the accuracy thing could also be playing a part in why we aren't seeing more and better from Keenan Allen. But again, if we're seeing that Caleb is better in those mid yardage and short yardage situations, let's do that. I think the first and foremost thing, if this Bears offense wants to find success on the remaining 8 games of this season, it has to be you got to put the weapons that you have in a much better situation than what you have so far this season. If you can't do that, you're going to continually fail. And at some point, you got to mix up what you're trying to do. And is Shane Waldron going to use that knowledge? Is he even looking at these things to start improving some things for the Chicago Bears? We got a game against the Patriots. This is a game that a lot of people are starting to look at as the only game left that you could predict a win for the Chicago Bears. And so I want to see the Bears try to mix some things up when it comes down to it. There's no doubt that so far the Keenan Allen trade has been a disappointment. There are reasons why it's been a disappointment, right? So, and that's what you got to look at as well when it comes down to it. So, at the end of the day, like I said, the biggest thing for me is getting the ball in the hands of your weapons, no matter where that is, and then let them try to do something. These guys are weapons for a reason, and we just got to connect more, right? So, if it means that we got to limit the down the field things for now because Caleb just isn't accurate at it yet, and, his processing of the field, I think, has still been good. Like, he's going to the right guys. He's just missing them. That's something to be said in that as well, right? So we'll see what happens at the end of the day for this Chicago Bears team. But it was just something interesting. And like I always like to say, I like to talk about things from all sides and perspectives. While I had the perspective of I would really like the Chicago Bears to think about moving Keenan Allen if the deal is right. They didn't. They may have just not found the right deals. Now let's turn around and look at how can we get the best. Keenan Allen's going to be here at least through the rest of for 8 more games as a Chicago Bear. Let's try to get the best out of what we have here so we can try to be in a better position to win some football games because ultimately that's what everybody wants. We want to win more football games. But let's talk about move on from that to the DJ Moore thing. So there have been a lot of reactions to DJ Moore. Some more radical NFL fans and some I think that just don't really pay attention to football. But even in the trade deadline special, I can't remember the user's name, but he was like, well, we should look at trading DJ Moore. He's clearly turning into a locker room cancer. Oh, my God, he walked off the field. Well, DJ Moore and Matt Eberflus actually revealed that he actually tweaked his ankle on that play, and him going out of bounds was because his ankle was hurting, and he was hobbled and wanted to go and sit down. So, no, it was not that he was quitting on his team or quitting on his play. And DJ Moore's tired of it. He came out and said that he doesn't care for the reaction to the play and how it was going through social media. The idea of him taking himself out of a play without being injured has no logic behind it. And we are in a place right now where Bears fans are hyped and we're pissed off, right? And I try to always understand that human element of it when we're talking about the game of football, when we're talking about players, but some. And I don't think it's a lot of Bears fans, but I do think it is some more reactionary Bears fans. They look at everything and want to make it a drama. They want to make it, like I've said before, sports is soap operas for men, for some, right? Because they don't really pay attention to the ins and outs. They don't know coverages. They don't know schemes. They don't know really like the depth of football. It's hey, did you win or lose? And then they do look at it as the storyline. That's just what they do. And so, trying to make a storyline out of something for DJ Moore, who's done nothing but be a competitor throughout his time here with the Chicago Bears, it is what it is. And I know that response from DJ Moore is probably going to trigger even more Chicago Bears fans, especially the ones that, like to whine and complain on social media. But at the end of the day, the guy got hurt, right? And he was dinged up. And so to think that a player that DJ Moore, who's been nothing but saying the right things, doing the right things, buying into the right things, and I think a lot of it comes back and stems from as well that DJ Moore was one of the more vocal people on this team about keeping Justin Fields. And I think that as soon as anything goes left, Bears fans want to default to, oh, well, he's really mad that Justin, I can understand that thinking to a degree, right? To a certain degree. DJ Moore spent most of his time playing with developing quarterbacks. If not all his time in the league playing with developing quarterbacks. And I think also that there is frustration. Like DJ Moore shared the frustration over where the offense was at the beginning of the season. Right, and a lot of Bears fans heralded it at that time because somebody needed to call Shane Waldron out for what the hell he was calling on the field. DJ Moore is a competitor. He's a gladiator. He is somebody that is very passionate about this. He's not just somebody out there collecting their check and their money and bet, I'm going to do what I can do. DJ Moore cares about this. DJ Moore wants to win football games. On top of developing quarterbacks, most of DJ Moore's time spent in the NFL, despite his talent, has been him losing, being on losing teams. So, I understand the frustration of where this team is. I understand where Bear fans sit as well as in their view, and they're kind of, right now we're the Bears fans as a whole are trying to find something to blame. Some are blaming just Poles. Some are blaming just Waldron. Some are blaming just Eberflus. Some are blaming just Caleb Williams. Some are blaming just the offensive line. Some are blaming, of the ownership, the McCaskies, right? And ultimately, it's a combination of all those things. Multiple things can be true at the same time. Ryan Poles could fail Caleb Williams with the offensive line, but Caleb Williams also needs to be more accurate down the field, right? There's a lot of things that are all being true at the same time. And I think that critical thinking has kind of gone out the window, and now we're in the reactionary period as Chicago Bears fans, and we kind of got to come out of that a little bit, right? You're right to be pissed off, right? And let's be pissed off, but fairly evaluate everything. And that's what I try to do here. I know I had my episode going off on Matt Eberflus, but even in that, pointed out several times, I said in that episode, Caleb has to be more accurate, right? It's okay to review everything. Instead of looking for one thing to blame where the Bears are, let's do an honest survey of everything of where we're at and blame all those things, right? And how much of those things can be realistically fixed as we continue and go forward. That's one of the biggest questions here. Now, Caleb Williams and DJ Moore also both talked about their lack of chemistry. Caleb Williams saying this: it's not in a place where we would like it, both of us. It's frustrating because you've got a guy that's so special, and not being able to connect on certain passes is frustrating for myself, and I know it's frustrating for him. We got to figure it out. Caleb Williams went on to say this as well: knowing who we're going against and the one-on-one matchups we might get, and the understanding on the back of the end reads where we're at in situations is when Williams is going through the read and how fast or slow I have to stay in his vision. That's from DJ Moore, not Caleb Williams. And then DJ Moore also saying that he views that the reason why his connection is developing at a slower rate than what it did with Justin Fields, for example. He said this: just reps. Justin had more reps when I got here than me and Caleb have. It's just him being a rookie quarterback, and Justin wasn't a rookie quarterback last year. I also think it comes down to this as well. Caleb Williams had one target last year that was worth a damn, and that was DJ Moore for the most part, right? So, Justin Fields had time to have that chemistry. He had already had the chemistry with Darnell Mooney, right? So, that was already there. They were building off of that. He had one focus last year coming into it, and that was, let me build chemistry with DJ Moore. It ended up being his favorite target right outside of Cole Kmet. So it was a singular focus. Caleb's coming into a situation where not only he's the rookie quarterback, now he's having inaccuracy issues down the field, but he also had a big chemistry with Keenan, with Rome, with Cole, with the offense, with DJ, right? So it was a total change. It's a total new situation. So I'm not yet going to wave the concern flag over their lack of chemistry. It's concerning, right? But I'm going to say this: if we're at the same place by week 2, I'm not even giving it a month. By week 2 next year, that's where it's time to start being extremely concerned. If we're talking about going through a full season, another offseason, the growth of Caleb that he's going to make as a rookie to a second-year quarterback, and we're still talking about chemistry issues, that's where it got to start being, all right, what the hell is going on here, right? And I think that's a fair thing to say. So, it's good that both these guys are focused, that both these guys are looking at what they can individually do and what they can do together to fix their chemistry issues, but you got to get this shit underway. We got to see better chemistry from these two guys. DJ Moore's locked into a contract. Caleb Williams is a new rookie quarterback. He's going to be here for a while. You want these guys to build chemistry. Now, Caleb and Rome Odunze's chemistry seems good, so that's good, right? You have that there. We haven't gotten to see the chemistry that we heard about with Tyler Scott in the offseason. We haven't gotten to see that in the actual NFL yet, so we want to see that develop as well. But those things are starting to go in that direction, and let's hope that these two guys who want to get this connection right, who are both frustrated by the lack of chemistry and connection, let's get that together. And let's see what this offense can build off of when it comes down to that. And Caleb Williams also talks about his accuracy issues as well, saying it's frustrating because I've worked hard over the years of accuracy being the most important thing. I still pride myself on that. Not being accurate, not being on time with things, it's frustrating. And it should fucking be frustrating, right? Your ability to read a defense is there. And I know some Bears fans that are just going to look at the result, are going to say, well, is it? Yes. You can tell by the way his eye movement, where he's placing his eyes, where the targets that he's going after is usually the right targets, right? That's why he does still have more touchdowns than interceptions, right? Is that he's going after the right guy. He just has not been able to connect. And I will say this, that is a thing that actually gives me a little bit more confidence, because hopefully you can fix the accuracy thing, right? Hopefully that's the thing. The thing I would be more concerned about if he's just not picking up and reading defenses well. He's reading the defenses absolutely well. It's just that you got to get the ball and place it in the proper area, and that is what he's failing at right now. Can he fix it? I think that he can. I hope that he can, and if he does, good, great. It's going to actually help the Bears substantially as we go forth into the season. He got to get it together. I hope that he will. I'm going to have faith until I don't, that he will get it together, and we'll see what it's going to turn into, man. Now, before we get into the one mailbag that we got a number of concerning injury updates yesterday. I did drop an emergency video on it. The biggest one being Andrew Billings is having a pec surgery. He's more than likely done for the season. Now, the Bears have not completely ruled him out for the season yet. I think they're waiting until after the surgery and the prognosis there on how bad that injury is before they do it. But more than likely, his season is done. Andrew Billings is done for the season. That just is what it is. And with Jaquan Brisker, Matt Eberflus also saying that Jaquan Brisker is going to miss another week more than likely with this concussion. It's more concerns when it comes down to it, right? He got a concussion in week 5. He's been missed like this. He's going to miss his 4th straight game this week. It's really unfortunate, man. So, the Bears injuries are stacking up at a time where this is where I hope the Bears will be getting more healthy with Ryan Bates coming back and things like that. And losing Andrew Billings is big, but it does open up opportunities for Zach Pickens, who just got back healthy himself, for us to see that kind of hope that we had in a dynamic young interior defensive line of Zach Pickens and Javon Dexter, to start seeing if Zach Pickens can start bringing something that we need from him. You got to stay on the field for that as well. So where players go down, it opens up other opportunities. Now, Kyler Gordon was eliminated in practice yesterday, so that's good. Darnell Wright also has an MCL sprain. He's going to be more than likely out this week. He may even be out a couple of weeks. So the injuries are stacking up for the Bears at a time period where it just, frankly, sucks. And we'll see what can come out of this, man, and if the team can turn this thing around. But, it really sucks that when you're losing your weapons, when you're losing big and important pieces to your team at the wrong time, and this is the wrong time to be losing those pieces for the Bears. It's really unfortunate. It frankly sucks. I hate that we're in this position, but we'll see what the Bears can get, how they can come out of it, and hopefully that we come out on the other side and improve somewhat at some point in time. Let's hope that that's the case. But we got one voicemail from a first-time caller. This one's from the 757.
What's going on, man? What's going on? I've been listening to y'all for a minute now. Probably don't see me out there subscribing to anything. Yeah, I know y'all gonna get on me for that. But to be honest with you, man, I ain't too much of a social media person and all that stuff. I ain't subscribed to no one on anything, but I respect the hell out of y'all, what I'm saying, keep doing what y'all doing and all. I probably will once I get over this latest fiasco with the Bears, man, but this is all I gotta say right here. I've been watching these Bears. I'm in Virginia. Been watching these Bears my whole life pretty much. The past 10 plus years, even though I haven't been in Chicago, I've been able to catch every single game. I caught every single game this year. I am so tired of this excuse for Caleb Williams, man. Like, okay, I just recently seen something that says, oh, the Bears need to do something to build around Caleb Williams. What the fuck are we doing right now? This is the thing. I understand everything is not right. But that's the thing. Everything's not right, including the fucking quarterback, man. Caleb Williams is not playing anywhere near where he's supposed to be. All the hype around him and all that shit. I admit, I'm one of those people who wanted Justin Fields. But when they got rid of him, we knew what was going to happen. I'm like, well, fuck it. Swallow, grin it, and bear it. Go with it. Root for the dude. But seeing what I've been seeing so far, man, it's ridiculous. Week after week, I keep hearing excuses for the dude. Yeah, Waldron is, I'm not calling him that. He's motherfucking Luke Getsy the second. That's what he is to me, Luke Getsy the second. That's what the fuck our offensive coordinator is right now. 2, I know the offensive line hasn't been all that. But this is the thing I'm paying attention to. All the bullshit they've been bitching about Justin Fields last year, Caleb Williams is doing the same shit. Except Justin Fields hitting people deep. His accuracy was deep, it was on point. Caleb Williams has not been on point. His accuracy's been worse than Justin Fields'. He's missing open receivers in different ways. He's either not seeing them or hesitate to throw it, not throwing it, or he's overthrowing them. All this type of stuff around the dude. Okay, I get he's a rookie, but so was fucking Joe Burrow. There was so many people who were rookies who did their goddamn thing. Caleb Williams supposed to be a better passer than Cam Newton. Cam Newton didn't have nowhere near the amount of weapons that this dude got. This dude got weapons. Yeah, the offensive line isn't perfect. But I've seen too many times he had time. He had plenty of time. Finds no one. Or he misses them. This is my thing. It's a total team fuck up. The defense fucked up last game. I don't know when I'm going to come back and watch these dudes again. It pisses me. I'm tired of watching these.
So here's the thing, and I want to be clear here. All your criticisms are valid, right? But there is no supposed to be as a rookie quarterback. Everybody's rookie growth and development is different. And I think a lot of people were listening to the hype. And I was telling everybody, go back and look, go into the archives. Let's stop with Caleb Williams is not going to come on this field and be generational from day one. I think also we got to separate the reality from buzzwords used by the media to talk about guys that are in the draft. Caleb Williams is a really good quarterback prospect. And yes, he has to be issued. But the fact that you're even comparing a rookie quarterback to now a, fourth or fifth year quarterback in Justin Fields, it's not excuses. Excuses and reasons are different. Multiple things can be right at the same time. Yes, Caleb Williams needs to be better for sure. That he just needs to be better. As a quarterback, he needs to be better. But the offensive line is absolutely playing a part into that. The play calling is absolutely playing a part into that as well, right? And I think when you say things like he's suffering from the same things as Justin, yes and no. He reads the defenses way better than what Justin Fields did. That's it. And keep in mind, I was criticized because I was a guy who said that the Bears should look to keep Justin Fields, right? But he does read the defenses. He has a better arm than Justin Fields. The accuracy thing is hard. But like Justin Fields, when he would go down the field, it was because he made the wrong reads. Caleb Williams is making the right reads. He's not making the connection, right? So I think that that's a thing that's different in how they're struggling. But hey, I understand. Right now, the results are still the goddamn same. We're not making anything down the field or deep. So say with that what you will. I just think that ultimately, and I get it, it's hard for Bears fans to say this patience thing because we keep hearing patience year in and year out, right? And so when it comes down to it, yes, Caleb needs to be better. How we support him also needs to be better. Both things can be true at the same time. And at the end of the day, like my personal thought process, the woulda, coulda, shoulda ain't going to get us nowhere. Caleb is here now. So us talking about things that need to change, like Caleb Williams ain't changing. He's going to be the quarterback. And the Bears shouldn't change it. You drafted him. You started him from day one. You got to let him go and grow through this process. I always said the thing that was going to be the most indicative of me is how Caleb Williams learns from the mistakes that he makes. Now, I wanted to see more growth week to week, but how he comes out and how he continues to finish this season, and then, of course, coming into next season, we want even more of those things to be eliminated. But at the end of the day, like, this is the quarterback. Caleb is going to be the quarterback, and he's going to get multiple seasons to show that he can get it together. And there are a lot of signs as well as Caleb Williams has a nice base to build things off of. He just got to be better in some certain areas, and let's hope that he can get better in those areas because, listen, if he can and we can get this right, hey, the sky's the limit for the Bears in the future, but we got to be better. And so, yes, Poles failed him. We got to be better offensive line. Shane Waldron's play calling has sucked. Caleb Williams also hasn't taken advantage of some situations he's been in where he's had good situations. So all those things are all true at the same time, and that's why the state of the Bears is the current state of the Chicago Bears when it comes down to it. But thank you for leaving that voicemail. Next time, leave your name as well. I always like to shout people out. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys are following the show at Shy Bears Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, ChicagoBearsCentral@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-242-9336. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related, but that's thanks to you guys. And like I like to end every episode on, Chi-Town up, but Bear down. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.